So I am really excited about sharing just the beauty and the amazing day that I had down at Goodwood a couple of weeks ago. They've been working so hard through lockdown, and the changes and some of the new offerings are really special. So lots to share with you, which is very exciting. As always, you know, everything is driven by our promise. And one of the reasons that we love working with Goodwood so much is their absolute passion for the countryside and this whole idea of preserving and protecting and prolonging the beauty and the traditions. I mean, they absolutely live it. So they're a very special partner. So, just to kick off, really exciting news that the amazing Newt Hotel, which is new for many of us, it opened, I think, about 6 months before lockdown, and it's just magnificent. And because they are so focused on their farm and their garden and so on, that is all attached to the hotel. It's a really beautiful fit that they have sponsored the Chelsea Flower Show, and they have sponsored it for the next 5 years, so 4 years. So they really are obviously planning a full-on partnership with them. So there'll obviously be fabulous trips to and from Somerset and the Chelsea Flower Show in May. But I think everyone has quite high hopes for what might be achieved. And we are so excited. We are just finalising some amazing experiences to celebrate our amazing Queen and her 70 years. So we have 7 groups of experiences to celebrate the 7 decades that she has been on the throne serving us. So we can't wait to share that next week. So Goodwood is known as the greatest sporting estate, because whether it's motor racing or horses or shooting or flying, they really do have it all. The history of the Duke of Richmond and his family is quite extraordinary. I mean, 3 centuries worth is certainly worth listening to. And the current Duke of Richmond and his family are really passionate about building on these fantastic events and the offer that they have down in Sussex. I mean, all of the guys say he's just wonderful to work with, and will happily welcome guests and so on. So it really is. It's really special, and I had a very sort of personal insight into the workings of the estate and so on, which I will share with you. So this is us in a fabulous Land Rover driving past the main Goodwood house. You can see the dog running in the foreground there. I mean, it's just amazing. And then you sweep up to that main entrance in the picture just here, which is just glorious. So it's perfect for business, but and that's how many people often view Goodwood. But actually, the leisure opportunities, whether it's a couple or a family group or a group of friends, it really does offer all sorts. The art collection is quite extraordinary. I mean, there are original stubs and canalettos at every turn. And the opportunity just to wander through from room to room, and the paintings of former monarchs and all sorts of things are just absolutely everywhere. So it's a very it's a huge house, but it's one in which you can enjoy a really intimate tour, which is just lovely. So here are some of our favourite pictures. As you can see, the art and sculpture. I mean, they are absolutely animal mad at Goodwood, which is just glorious. And I'll show you some pictures of Hound Lodge and so on. But horses and dogs just absolutely rule the roost everywhere you look, which, you know, as a dog owner, I think is really rather lovely. We had lunch, as you can see, in the Egyptian dining room on the top right there. And that yellow drawing room is quite magnificent, and it leads through into the main ballroom and so on. And it, as you can see, I mean, the art and sculpture is really quite amazing. It's better in the flesh. I mean, the pictures are lovely, but it is just stunning. And one of the really lovely things that our clients and I was reminded about during my trip to Goodwood was their team, because you don't just get, or your clients won't just, dare I say it, just be taken round by any old guide. The guys down there are so passionate about their subject, and this is a picture of Hilary that you can see here, and she's glorious, and she's got every story and anecdote and everything that you could possibly want to know, and a whole lot more. She will share it with you, and you really do feel like a welcome visitor rather than a tourist. And certainly for so many of our clients, that is hugely important, to be made to feel really, really welcome. And the other real character that I would always recommend from the hilltops for the estate driving and so on is a fabulous Australian character called Jamie, who knows more about every single blade of grass and every tree and animal and you name it. He can tell the stories with that fabulous Australian accent. It's huge fun. So there are all sorts of ways of getting around the Goodwood Estate, and as you can see here on this picture, everything as far as the eye can see is part of the estate. So you can't really do it on foot unless you've got a week or two maybe, but you really do need to be able to get around. So the to get from for example, the Goodwood Hotel up into the heart of Goodwood Revival or the Festival of Speed or whatever, they have a rather stunning fleet of BMWs, so you can sit back while your driver takes you from point A to point B in absolute luxury, which is really rather lovely. And then these glorious Land Rovers, and I couldn't resist having this picture taken a couple of weeks ago, because I discovered that this Land Rover that I'm sitting on here is the same age as me. And we couldn't quite decide who'd aged better, it has to be said, but yeah, driving around in that with Jamie at the wheel was just huge fun. And then the other element of the Goodwood Estate is the glorious kennels. And it's a members club, so they have, you know, bars and restaurants and all sorts of things going on, and it's a real hub of people who love their sport and, very importantly, love their dogs as well, because the dog membership seems to be even better than the human membership, which is quite extraordinary. So the kennels is just lovely for a bite of lunch, a quick drink at the end of the day, or whatever you may do. So the types of activities are, I mean, it really is absolutely endless. Driving through the estate in a 4x4 is so well worth doing, because, as I said at the beginning, they work so hard to preserve all of the historical trees, the wildlife, and the natural sort of flora and fauna of the estate. And then you go from that to the slightly speedier activity of flying with the flying club that they have there, You can see a golf buggy in the sunshine. They've got 2 golf courses, so if your clients want to round a golf or 2, then they've got the option. And they have one of the best shoots in the country on the estate. And whether it's in the season, this time of year, obviously happy to arrange a fabulous game shoot, and during the rest of the year, the opportunities to shoot clays are just fantastic. So there really is all sorts. And here's some of the video footage as we were driving around, and you can see, I mean, okay, the sun was shining, it was glorious, but imagine taking off from there and flying over the estate. It would just be absolutely amazing. And this is us in the 4x4, and it was extraordinary. We were going up and down and round corners and all sorts, but huge fun. And this was the pièce de résistance, a real live butler standing in the middle of the forest with the most beautiful pastries. I had to have 2 just to make sure that they were all right, and steaming hot coffee and tea. And we were served like royalty, and stood in the middle of a forest having morning coffee and pastries. So we do like to do things properly, even when you're out in the middle of nowhere. It was very special, and they love doing it. They get really involved in all of those types of activities. Now, the thing that Goodwood is probably most famous for are the 3 huge events that they have every year, all around motoring and horses. And Goodwood Revival, that takes place in September, is just amazing. It pulls together the cars and the costumes. And they have no car that was made after 1960, and they have the best examples of everything that was made before that. And what we do for our clients, and we really recommend it, is we will arrange for the costume hire, having the hair done, so they absolutely look the part and can make the most of all of the glorious hospitality. And it's the lovely thing about Goodwood, although it's a big estate, the whole revival setting is relatively small, so they really can make the most of it in a day. Now, the Festival of Speed is quite extraordinary. There's not a proper sort of race course as such, so they are flying through the middle of woodland and parkland, and it's quite extraordinary. Again, huge fun, lots of hospitality, and I mean, as some people say, even if you don't particularly like cars, it's just fabulous just to wander around and enjoy it. And that takes place in July, in the summer. And then glorious Goodwood, the QATAR festival, and the racing at Goodwood. I'm not a racing connoisseur by any stretch of the imagination, but it's such a beautiful setup down there, and because it's so well known and so famous, they really do attract the best of the best horses and jockeys. So it's just a wonderful event to join. So would really recommend it. It's gorgeous. Now, in terms of accommodation, the Goodwood Hotel is very much part of the Goodwood Estate. They've just done a bit of an extension, and there are about 120 rooms, I think, and a beautiful spa, fabulous restaurant, and all that sort of thing. Now, during most of the year, we are obviously able to secure rooms and so on. But the really good news is that during Revival, Festival of Speed, etc., obviously the rooms are normally booked year on year for the sponsors and partners and so on. but because we have such a good partnership with Goodwood, more often than not, we can secure the rooms for the events, and we've just done it actually for some clients who are coming to Revival next year. So it's as always, it's who you know, not what you know, and they are lovely, and they like working with us, so they help us out too. It's just a gorgeous hotel, and it's the backdrop looking out across the estate is magnificent. Now, if you have a group of clients who want to stay somewhere truly amazing and like the idea of complete privacy while at the same time having 24/7 butler to hand and all of the food and everything prepared for them, you cannot do any better than Hound Lodge. Hound Lodge was originally built, as the name suggests, for the hounds, and the amazing thing was that they put underfloor central heating in Hound Lodge for the dogs before they actually got it in the main Goodwood house. That's how much they love their animals, which is just hysterical. Anyway, it is now a beautiful, it feels like a private house that your clients can stay in the heart of the estate. There's no minimum stay, so they can be there for 1 night or 10 nights. It is rented out on an exclusive use basis, and it has 10 bedrooms. So we'll show you. These are some of the external shots. So all of the bedrooms are individually done and so beautifully appointed. Again, the pictures don't really do them justice, but they are absolutely stunning. And as you can see, every little attention to detail has been thought of. So if you do have a group of clients who want to stay somewhere amazing in the heart of an estate, I cannot recommend this highly enough. The bathrooms, and all of the the bath and body goods and all of those sorts of things are just beautiful, absolutely fabulous. So really recommend Hound Lodge for a slightly bigger group. And this is where the butler and the staff turn up to serve the amazing dinners and lunches and breakfasts and so on. Not a bad place to sit and have supper with your friends. I think it's all rather lovely. And this is the main drawing room, and it's just so cozy and absolutely lovely. And you can see the hounds there, and it's just really a really special place. So there's accommodation, there's excitement, there's nature, there's countryside. It is quite extraordinary what there is to do at Goodwood, and it's just down in Sussex. So from London, it's about an hour and a half's drive, so not a million miles away by any stretch of the imagination. They do get booked up, and obviously around the events particularly, things are very busy down there. So if you've got any clients at all who are interested, whether it is for one of the events or whether it's just to go down and have a lovely couple of days somewhere beautiful, I'd recommend getting on the case sooner rather than later. So that's our little tour of Goodwood. I hope you've enjoyed it. Don't know if you've got any questions, if anything's not clear, but please do just let me know. We're going to pull together all of the videos and so on as well, so you can really get a feel for what it's like. And so that is it now for 2021. I'm not too sure that too many of us will be too sad to see the back of 2021. Oh, room rates. They are, it's very reasonable actually, about 350 bed and breakfast at the Goodwood Hotel. To rent Hound Lodge, it's £10,000 a night for 20 people, but that is dinner, bed, and breakfast. So if you imagine that's £500 per person per night, including all meals, accommodation, and so on. It sounds fairly reasonable. Obviously, it feels a bit more expensive if it's just a couple, but for a group of friends, it works really well. Yes, a very, very fantastic. Well done, Jahala. So just safe to say, a really happy Christmas from all of us here at Humphreys. We've thoroughly enjoyed our little weekly get-togethers, and I hope you have too. And we will be kicking off the new year with the most important event of next year in our eyes, which is the Queen Elizabeth's Platinum Jubilee. So we will share all of the fabulous experiences and things that you can do. So really look forward to seeing you then. Very happy Christmas and a happy new year, and we'll see you next year. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye bye.